My media go-kart race partner, and we had a little secret weapon. We'll talk to Jorge about that in just a minute. Our little secret weapon didn't get us a win or anything like that, but once we get a chance to talk to him, we're gonna flip it up a little bit. We're actually gonna talk to somebody else first. But when we do talk to Jorge, we're gonna talk about his secret weapon.
It's hard to see with everything that's going on with the lights and the glitz and the glam here at the NASCAR Champions Night for the NASCAR Touring Series. So right now we're actually going to go to Vilariño from the Euro Race Car NASCAR Touring Series. He's the champion there, the inaugural season. Great to see you, by the way. Bob Dillner, Duke Kenfield. All right, how does it feel, first of all, to be the inaugural champion of this series with NASCAR?
Well, it's an incredible feeling, you know. There in Europe, the NASCAR is very known, but it's very exotic, and they really don't know all the rules, all the things that are all around NASCAR. And being the first champion is a great honor, and even if it has been a very tough season, the championship is very hard. There are very good drivers, very good teams, and it's great to have come here and see all the NASCAR, which is all the NASCAR things which are around Charlotte. Is really unbelievable week, unbelievable.
Have you been to
to have the car here? And then we have visited some teams, Hendricks, Childress Racing, and I don't remember, Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's been really unbelievable week. Nice to see everything, and being here is a great pleasure.
The Euro Race Car series has been around for a few years. This is the first year with NASCAR sanction. How much of an impact in the exposure level has NASCAR brought to Euro Race Car?
Yeah, for sure. Having NASCAR in this championship is very, very important. They have, for example, this year has been the first oval race in a NASCAR championship there in Europe, and all the NASCAR rules were very new to us. And we made a dress rehearsal of all the rules, and all the drivers we quite understood quite well all the things, and then the race was good. Richard Bach and well, it was George Silverman too, and many people there, and the first race was won by Ben Kennedy though, and it was a very nice experience, and well, let's hope next years we will have more and more races like this.
And we talk about Ben Kennedy winning that first race. He is the great-grandson of the founder of NASCAR. So Ben Kennedy has run the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series East Series this year, won that race. But let's talk about your season a little bit. 6 wins this year for you on that series. Is there one that sticks out a little bit more as far as being memorable?
Yeah, well, all the races are important, and the first one, it was very good because it is always important to start well the championship. If you start well, then everything is easier. But I would say in our championship, the point system is very particular. We have 12 races, and the first 8 are regular season, and then the last 4 races are double points. It's the playoffs. Then these 4 races are very important, and the first 2 races of the playoffs, we won them. So the championship was almost decided there, and I would say the first one of the playoffs, Valencia, it was in Spain, it was Valencia circuit, so it was really great, and it was very funny to win there.
You know, that's an interesting format, 4-race playoff. Does the intensity amp up when you get to that 4 races?
Yeah, for sure. You arrive to the last race, and even you can think the championship is won, but then until the very, very last lap of the last race, the championship is not decided. So it's very demanding for the drivers and for the teams, because any mistake that happens in the car or any mistake that makes the driver is decisive, and then the championship can be won or lost in just a fraction of a second.
The schedule for Euro Race Car goes to some pretty historic racetracks, certainly Le Mans, Valencia, like you mentioned. But you did run some oval tracks. Just talk about the diversity of the schedule and just how rigorous of a schedule it is for you.
Yeah, the first race is a normal track, it's 2.5 mile track in Nogaro. Then we go to a short track, Brands Hatch. We made the short track of the short version of Brands Hatch. Then we went to Spa, very long track. You know, it's basically Formula One track, one of the most incredible tracks in Europe. And then we went to the oval track, and this oval track was really intense. It was a short track, and when Jerome told me we're going to organize a short track, oval, flat, Then I said, I went into the YouTube, into internet, and I checked oval, short track, flat, and it was Bowman Gray, the first thing I saw. Yeah. And when I saw all these things, my wife was telling me, what are you going to do there? Everybody's fighting. But it was really funny to see, and to experience all this kind of racing was really, really funny.
Bowman Gray Stadium is truly a madhouse. Could you ever imagine racing at Bowman Gray Stadium?
Yeah, I would like to. Why not? The thing is that as we have won the championship, we are going to be at the Uno Battle at the beach on February at Daytona. So it's going to be a very nice experience for me. I have a locked position, so it's going to be very nice.
What are you racing there? Are you racing a late model?
K&N
car. Okay.
Yeah, K&N
Great.
car.
Oh, that's going to be a blast, I'm sure, for you there. To race at Daytona, what does that mean?
It's a dream come true, for an European driver. Me, I've raced in Spa, as I've said, in many race venues from Formula One tracks, and I've even driven in Macau and Sao Paulo in Brazil. But coming here to the States and to a place with such a history like Daytona is really amazing.
I looked at your bio, and I also saw one interesting thing. You've raced the hill climb.
Yeah.
But what hill climb have you raced, and how'd you do, and what was it like?
Yeah, I basically, my father was racing driver, and he won 4 times the FIA European Hill Climb Championship. Then when at one moment of my career, I decided to do this, and I won twice this championship. And basically we run tarmac races, asphalt races, not like here as it was the Pikes Peak. It was one of our dreams to come to the Pikes Peak, but really hill climb racing is very dangerous. I had some friends that died racing, and I decided to stop. And when I came back to circuit racing, there was this good opportunity to be in the Euro race car. Then it became NASCAR, so it was very, very good for us, and incredible to be in this family and this organization.
You ready for your speech tonight?
Yeah, why not?
Are you going to use the teleprompter, or is it coming out of your heart?
Both of them.
Both, okay.
Both of them, yeah,
okay.
Both of them.
10-4. Well, it was good seeing you.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Nice to meet you.
You have a great night here tonight at NASCAR Champions Night for the NASCAR Touring Series. And I tell you what, he's definitely got some suave look and suave talk to him.
Absolutely. And the dude can drive a race car, no doubt about it. If you've got the cojones to drive in a hill climb, everything else is pretty easy at that point, but there's nothing easy about Euro race car. I did the opposite of him. I YouTubed some of the Euro race car races, and I'll tell you what, those guys put on a whale of a show over there in Europe.
And we said we were going to meet Jorge Getters, and hopefully we will a little bit later on tonight here at Charlotte, North Carolina. But now let's welcome to the stage the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East champion, and it came right down to the very last lap. Welcome to the stage in the red carpet show, Kyle Larson. Kyle, nice to see you.
Hey, Kyle.
Have a seat in the chair right there, and let's talk about, because we got to talk about that final race.
Yes.
Because at first it looked like your buddy Corey LaJoie was going to be the champion. He had that carburetor infraction. It opens up the game going right down to that finale and right down to the very last lap. How exciting was that?
Yeah, I definitely caught a few breaks there at the end of the season with Corey having his problems and Brett also having his problems, and there at Rockingham, I was in a good position. I had Brett Moffitt at my sights and was pretty comfortable there, and then he got to the lead, and I knew